Hey guys, I want to talk about trademarks. I don't have extensive or anything near expert level information on trademarks, but I remember whenever I was, I think in the same marketing class as the example I used in my last video. But anyway, I think I was in there and I remember learning about a situation that I thought was like shocking, and I want everyone to know about this. I don't know. So the question or the think piece for chapter 6 that I want you to think about is, what do we do? What can we do? What should we do? Is this cool? Like, maybe those are the questions I want you to know. Like, what happens when a company creates a product and puts a name on that product, and then people start using that name to refer to any product like it? Okay, so like for example, think about a pen, right? A pen is a generic noun for a writing utensil that has ink and not graphite. And imagine now we have like Bic pens, or if you're like, what, are you old? I don't know. Like, we could talk about Sharpies, right? Sharpie is a brand name for like a felt type permanent marker. Okay, but Sharpie is just a brand, and there are other pens or markers, Sharpies, right, that do the same thing, but they're not Sharpies, they're off brands or whatever. Or we have other pens that are not Bic pens, maybe they're like Great Value pens or whatever. So what if we all started referring to every single pen, not saying like, hey, can you hand me that pen, but saying, hey, can you hand me that Bic? Or saying, like, can you hand me that Sharpie, to refer to anything that looks like a Sharpie, even if it's not actually a Sharpie, which, why would you use anything other than an actual Sharpie? But anyway, what should happen? Nothing? Something? Should that company be allowed to keep using that word, even though it's become a placeholder for every pen in the whole world? Does that company have to give up its rights to the word? I mean, companies, regarding trademarks and branding and labeling, companies own words that they have come up with to label something. And I know there is a lot of complexity to trademarks that I do not understand because I am not a lawyer. But what happens? Well, I think this is super interesting, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not really mad about it. I'm not really not mad about it. I don't know. I just kind of like, that's super interesting. So, there is a court case from 1921 that sets a precedent for what to do when everyone starts referring to all products with your brand name. And that is that you lose the rights to your trademark. So, there's a really interesting article out there. It's from the New York Times, and it's called How a Brand Name Becomes Generic. And one of the examples, and this is that integral court case, is aspirin. So Bayer, you guys are probably familiar, or at least have heard of the drug company Bayer. Bayer versus the United Drug Company was a seminal case in which Bayer lost its trademark for aspirin to what experts now refer to as genericide, or like generic death, really. That 1921 case set the table for the modern standard that courts currently follow. Okay, so here it is, right? Like, here's the rule. If a brand name is understood by the public to refer broadly to a category of goods and services rather than a brand's specific good or service, a company may be at risk of losing its trademark. Not 100%, but at risk. Here's some examples. Escalator. Escalator was a brand name. Now other brands can use that name because Escalator is not a brand anymore. It is a thing. Cellophane, that's like that really clear plastic wrap that you see when people give you like Easter baskets and things like that, and laundromat, that's interesting, I did not know that, have all lost their trademark status to Genericide. So I think this is super fascinating. I don't really have that much else to say about it. I just think it's something people need to know. Thank you for coming to this video.